you're never really expected on your first camp to go and make your debut, so I was just happy to be here in the first place. But this camp, you come in, you've had your experience and you want to play, and it's stuff that you can only dream of.
Good to see you, Lennon.
Good, how are you?
Good. Lennon, let's talk Scotland. Growing up, what's your memories of Scotland? First memories, big memories?
Just watching them on the telly. I can remember going to a few. I remember going to the Belgium game at Hampden. You obviously go and see, you want to go and see Scotland, but obviously Belgium have got real quality that you want to go and see as well. And I can remember going to that one to see players like that. It's where you want to be, and that's where.
At that moment, are you even contemplating playing with Scotland?
You obviously dream it, but you never really think it's going to happen at that age. You obviously go to the games. The dream is for every young kid to play for your country, and that's the ultimate aim, but you never really expect it to happen.
Last camp, first call-up, right? What are you thinking in that moment? Did you expect it? Did you expect to maybe be in one before? Was there any of that? What's your thought process at that point?
No, so I get told I was in the under-21s, so it was I think it was a couple of days before the first team squad got announced. I went up and done my pictures for Motherwell with the Scotland flag in that, and it was, oh, well done, you're in the 21s. And then a couple of days later, finished training, and it might have been Richard Foster came up to me after training and went, congratulations. And my head was everywhere and anywhere trying to think what he was congratulating me on. And then I obviously go to the physio and say, listen, can I see your phone, check the squad? Because that's the only thing I could think of, because I knew the squad was getting announced that day. That's where the video comes from.
You looking and seeing the squad first hand?
Live reaction. Nobody told me beforehand, and it was pure shock at first. I don't really think it sank in until a couple of days later. Once you meet up, it's kind of no normality, but you need to kind of get used to it quickly.
You've dealt with it, you understand it. So then you meet up, right? What are the biggest things you notice about your time on first camp? Because I'll tell you what I think, but I want to see what you.
Just the quality of living. You obviously go to a really nice hotel. You're on lovely pitches here. It's different to what you're used to at the underages, and then you obviously get the quality of player you're playing with. Is nothing that you can get used to. But no, it was a proud moment and one I'll never forget.
The biggest thing I noticed was the speed of everything, whether it be a possession box. The training pitch, it's like a massive jump. I was at Kilmarnock at the time, massive jump. And that's what I noticed, like guys like Barry Ferguson, Sean Maloney and that, you're like, the ball's popping.
I remember the first box I done here, oh my God, I was in the middle and I was doing all sorts, just chasing. But then you get used to it and you're not as bad. But the first box I ever done, it's one I'll never forget.
Probably a bigger change in this squad to the last squad in terms of personnel, a few more inexperienced. How does that make you feel turning up? Have you got a much more calmness now?
Even last camp there was quite a few that I knew, like Max I'd grew up with at Motherwell, Tommy, Kieran Slicker, who I've played 21s with, so I was alright last camp, but this camp was a lot more that I know, and it makes you feel more confident and comfortable around the place. Even the older players have made me feel like that though, but it always helps having the people that you know.
I used to second guess, see when I turned up the first early squads, second guess, oh no, I need to be early for dinner, have you had any of that, or have you just got comfortable? Meetings and a lot?
The first breakfast I ever had said 8:30 and it was on for an hour. So I'm used to, like, you need to be done for 8:30.
Yeah.
So I'm done at maybe 8:25. Not a single soul there. me and James Wilson used to, that's the time. So it's on until 9:30, so you can come down whenever. And I've got there just before 8:30. Me and James sitting there ourselves until, I think it was maybe 9:15 before somebody came down.
I was big on that. I was paranoid about everything. Really overthink. You overthink everything. At this point now, you comfortable, moved on a bit for that?
Yeah, there's still that doubt. I need to be early, I cannot be late. Because if you're late, you sing songs, and that's not me.
You're like me.
Aye. So you're always early. I hate being late. It annoys me, even to eating. But especially this stuff.
Having the boys that you know from the youth setups and at Motherwell, especially Max, do you bounce off each other? What do you have any conversations about what it's like, what the squad's like?
Aye, I spoke to James and I spoke to Max before I came in the first time, and it was just kind of, what you packing, what have you got, and then you obviously say like how excited you are, and like it's just these things that you need to get experiences, and they've obviously, Max has obviously went to Austria and get different experience, so he's probably got a wee bit more experience than me and James, but no, we were just really looking forward to it.
Chance to make your debut. You have your first squad. Probably the way you've shown in your career, you go away for the last squad with a wee bit of frustration, I didn't get a cap. You have that, just not as a negative, but now here, really good chance of it. I think the end of your season helps you, you're comfortable. Have you managed to think about what it would be like?
You obviously, the first camp, you're a wee bit disappointed, but you're never really expected on your first camp to go and make a debut, so I was just happy to be here in the first place. But this camp, you come in, you've had your experience and you want to play, and it's stuff that you can only dream of, making
You're
a debut.
just itching for that chance. I think that's what every player coming in. Have you spoke to your dad about it? He gets caps.
I've spoke to him about what he done, how it felt to him, and we'll probably bounce each other. If I make my debut, like what he felt and then what I felt, it'll be a good conversation, and obviously I want to get more than what he got anyway.
I had a sense of relief just that you made your debut, but like you said there, you hope to get more of your dad. I think that's a brilliant trait to have, but it's a really competitive part of the squad at the moment, the experience of players.
Yeah, you obviously look who we've got in midfield. We've got three in Italy, two have won the league and one's won the cup, so you look at that and you think, but you just want to learn from them. That's how I look at it. Obviously you want to play, but even in training you look at what they do and how they act about the place, and you want to take every little bit you can from them, and hopefully it can stand you in the right stead.
Is there anybody in the squad that, so I knew Chris Boyd, that was the only one I really knew, but David Weir was good for me when I get in the national team. Just, you naturally, is there anybody in the squad that you found of the older guys that you have gravitated towards?
All of them really, all of them have been brilliant.
That is a good group to be for that.
But I sit at a table with Scott McTominay, who's been really good for me. Even just chatting to him about his experiences, he's obviously had a good career, and you try and take wee points from what he learned when he was younger. So he's been really good. You obviously get all the other young boys who have been here for a long time, like Billy and people like that, who you just want to learn from, and you talk to them and they tell you about their past and that, and you want to do what they've done. You
talk about McTominay, somebody who's played several different positions. You can play a 10, you've played 10, played as a sitter. What are you? What kind of player are you?
I probably don't have I don't really know what's my best position. I kind of flip between 6 and 8, and I like both. Obviously there's different scenarios, different teams you play against where you prefer being a wee bit further forward, because you don't get as many touches playing as a 6. And then there's other games that you get more touches as a 6. I just want to get as many touches as I can.
So at this moment right now in general in your career, right, away from your dad, who's been the biggest influence? Is there many that you go, at certain points, that's been massive for me, or he's been massive for me, or she's been massive?
Yeah, there's been loads. Obviously my whole family have helped me through my whole career.
Travelled the country many weekends, probably.
Here, there and everywhere, the snow, the rain, the sunshine. But obviously you get Stevie Hamill, who was my head of academy for maybe 6-7 years.
That probably helped you in the first team?
Definitely.
When he becomes manager?
When he becomes manager, you think, he's seen me play, he knows what I'm about, and because you need luck in football as a young boy. And I was thinking maybe that's that wee bit of luck that I needed to get in, and if I'm good enough, I can stay. But you need that wee luck to break through. So he was one of them, because he gave me my debut, and then you work with Stuart Kettlewell, who comes in and gives you the armband and that, which is another experience. Probably they two in my first team career, and then obviously Steve Clark here, who's gave me the opportunity to come in here and to show my stuff.
So trajectory's been brilliant. You've got the games, you've got the minutes, armband, you've progressed constantly. Career can go wherever. I think in my day, as I progressed, one of the biggest things I really thought was, I want to play Champions League football. I want Champions League, and that was a driver. And is there anything you think that's a must on that tick list of being a footballer?
You obviously want to play European football, whether that's Europa League, Champions League, but you want to play in the big games, you want to play in Champions League finals, you want to play in all these games, but probably the Champions League is the one I want. In my career, I want to play Champions League football. It's probably the pinnacle of
a big thing for me was scoring in I managed to score in the Champions League, and it was a massive moment because the buzz, you sat growing up watching it, the music before it's unbelievable, and then getting a chance to score and it was amazing. What about nowadays, as you see half the squad, or a few in the squad, Italy, abroad, does any of that faze you? Are you open-minded? Do you just want to get to as high as you can?
I want to play as high as I can in club football, and obviously playing with your country is always the pinnacle of your career, I think. But I just want to play as high as I can. I want to play as many games as I can. I want to enjoy football. That's the most important thing for me. I want to play football and I want to enjoy it. So that's where my drive comes from.
Great words to finish. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Superb.